Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Oracles. So in today's video and in the next couple of videos, we're going to be doing a mini series about Fantom. There has been a lot of interest and a lot of questions in the last couple of days. So we're going to dig through into what the Fantom network is, what you can do with it, what are the opportunities, if it's a good time to buy Fantom, how you can farm Fantom, and the whole ecosystem and community around it. So don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button. If you don't already follow us, feel free to join all our channels, our Discord, our Telegram, and ask any questions at any point in time. All right, let me get started right away. Let's start talking about Fantom. So the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, what's happening in the last couple of days. And Fantom is now hitting a point, Fantom price is hitting a point that is quite low compared to the current cycle, and it's one of the bottoms in the last 3 cycles. So we're hitting this about $1 range. Yesterday it was trading about 105, today it's trading at 118, up 10%. And we're hitting this bottom that is being signaled 2 times already in the past, in 2020 and 2021. And Fantom, when it came out a couple of years ago, it was just about 1 cent. We're now at about $1, and we can see Fantom increasing a lot from here. So in this series, I'm going to go through a series of comparisons with AVAX, for example. We're going to look at Fantom Gems. We're going to look at some of the best apps on the Fantom protocol. But for today, I really just want to dig through what the Fantom network is and what the ecosystem is. So the first thing that I found is a really nice tweet from August last year from the Fantom Foundation that says, Fantom International, it's 1 second transactions, near zero fees, EVM compatible, 300,000 daily transaction, 200,000+ unique addresses, many more by today, and 12,000 smart contracts deployed, once again, many more by today. So it's a great chain that of course outperforms many of the ones you may know. And let's take a look at why this is the case. So the first thing I want to talk about it's the DAG. So Fantom is not exactly a standard blockchain, which means that the blocks in the blockchain usually have to be followed and preceded by another block. In the Fantom blockchain, this is not the case because the Fantom is essentially a graph, also called DAG. So Cointelegraph is actually coming to help here. They have a really nice article I'm going to link in the description down below on what a direct acyclic graph is in cryptocurrency, so and how does DAG work. So on a very high level, unlike a blockchain, which consists of blocks, direct acyclic graphs add vertices and edges. So it's effectively just a graph. And simply put, whereas a blockchain system looks like a chain, that system looks more like a graph. That model is currently seen in the industry as a possible substitute for blockchains in the future due to its efficiency in data storage and processing of online transactions. So effectively, the advantages of being a DAG is, of course, that you have a faster blockchain. And you don't need to wait for past transactions to be approved in order to approve the transaction. And Fantom is actually able to do about 4,500 transactions per second just because of this. Another good pro is finality. So finality is when your transaction is actually confirmed. And if you look at Bitcoin, for example, it takes about an hour. If you look at Ethereum, it takes about 10 minutes. If you look at Fantom, it's down to 10 seconds. And of course, the last pro, and probably one of the most relevant ones, is fees are incredibly low. So on the Fantom network, your fees are probably less than a cent. The next thing that relates to the network is the Concession Mechanism. So Lacases is the Concession Mechanism that is the engine that powers the Fantom blockchain. Now, if you don't know what a Concession Mechanism is, it's something that we cover in some of the previous videos. I suggest you take a look at those. But effectively, this is a proof of stake mechanism in Fantom. And the main advantages is that it only needs 50 validators. So we've seen other blockchains like Ethereum, like Cardano, and many other big ones that need many, many validators. So here you only need 50, and there is a good reason. In order to be a validator, in order to be a node, you need to own at least, you need to stake at least 1 million Fantom coins, which is right now about $1 million. And this has pros and cons, of course, right? So one of the cons, for example, is that to attack the network and fake transactions, you only need to control 1/3 of the network. Some of the pros is that, of course, is a much more flexible, much more lean approach to consensus in the blockchain, right? So Lacases is asynchronous. Participants have the freedom to process commands at different times. It's leaderless. No participants plays a special role. It's Byzantine fault tolerant. It supports 1/3 of faulty nodes, including malicious behavior. And finally, Lacaze's output can be used immediately. There is no need to wait for blocks confirmation, which is the finality we talked about a moment ago. So really interesting approach, and technically very, very different from other blockchains that we've seen out there, and is definitely going to give a cutting edge to the Fantom network. Just a few points here. It's of course scalable and more secure. It's fast, which is something we already mentioned. It's permissionless. It's open source, and is very well connected using the Fantom SDK. Another thing I want to mention about the Fantom network is that it's EVM compatible. EVM compatible basically just means that it's compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine. So whatever applications get built on the Fantom network, on the Fantom network and on Ethereum can be ported across the two. So you can think about, for example, SushiSwap, or we can think about Curve or Cream, that they were built as Ethereum applications. They're simply ported to the Fantom ecosystem. So this, of course, ports a lot of tokens, a lot of users, and a lot of flow, and a lot of money with it. Next up, a really, really cool thing as well that they did is the Fantom Foundation incentive program. So the incentive program distributed about $370 million, about $500 million, or 22 million Fantom tokens that as of today is worth about $22 million. And this was done for incentives. Now, the way this works is a lot of blockchains will give incentives to their users. So it's usually advertising and promotion. And as soon as the incentives are over, they don't have any more money, then the users will move away to the next blockchain and the attention will fade away. And this is what AVAX and Matic had done, for example. With Fantom, they gave the incentives to the developer. Now, of course, the developer will develop an application that will allow users to come in with their money and lock and stake their money to gain profits. And this basically creates a big loop in which you have your users coming in because of the developers you gave incentives to. So this is, of course, a much better structure for distributing incentives compared to AVAX or Matic. The other thing I want to talk about is the governance. So we're used to governance. Well, first of all, governance used for voting in blockchains, right? So if you have an idea and you want to put your idea out there, you will use your tokens, so Fantom tokens, to put the idea forward. And if you then want to vote for that idea, you use the tokens to vote for the idea, and if it passes, it gets implemented. Now, on Fantom, the big difference is that there is no just yes or no to vote when you vote to an idea, but rather there is a scaling system that goes from 1 to 4 that allows you to express a much better preference, right? So Fantom is one of the first chains that supports on-chain governance for fully decentralized blockchain. The voting is entirely on-chain, decentralized. One Fantom equals one vote. Governance is available to Fantom holders who stake their tokens. Any Fantom token holder who stakes Fantom can submit a proposal. Each proposal submission costs 100 Fantom, so right now about $100. And they introduce more flexibility in the way they vote, since you can express the degree of agreement with the proposal, and that goes in between 0 and 4. So this is kind of what it looks like when you're voting for different proposals on the Fantom ecosystem. So a really interesting approach, and of course this is going to drive more people to use the blockchain and to vote as part of governance. Another thing I wanted to highlight was the tokenomics. So the Fantom total supply, it's 3.1 billion tokens. And current in circulations, we have 2.1 billion Fantom tokens. I think it's about 2.5. The rest of the Fantom tokens are reserved for providing staking rewards to the Fantom holders. And it may take another couple of years before they reach full circulation. But even in the last couple of years since Fantom launch, we've seen the price moving from just 1 cent all the way to more than $2. And now it's back about $1.18. And the cool thing is that Fantom is inflationary by nature, but it does have a max supply. And this is it for this video. So to give a hint on what we're going to discuss in the next videos, in the coming videos, we're going to be talking about the Fantom ecosystems. What are the best apps? What are the best apps you can start taking a look at? What is the best farming solution? What are the best staking solutions? And the Fantom ecosystems, as you can see from this chart, is absolutely, absolutely huge. And then one last comparison I want to leave you with is, what if Fantom gained the same market cap as Avalanche today? Well, the price would be $7.50, or 6 times the current price. So this is it for today, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button, and definitely join our Discord to get whitelisted for our NFTs. Thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow.